huge numbers, 358 in the NCAA tournament, and then also dime a dozen, and that is a volleyball term. When you dime a pass, you control the other team's serve perfectly, run your offense to perfection.
And the first point of the match will go to Texas. The Longhorns are the higher seed, so they are in their home whites, Nebraska in red. We are playing the best 3 of 5 sets. And the sets will be to 25. You've got to win by 2 if we go to a 5th set. It's shortened. Block at the net by Amy Neal. She's number 9 in white. And there is Katie Ralston. So the 2 All-Americans getting some early touches here. The crowd did not think that last attempt cleared the net. And now here comes Nebraska again with Ralston. It's popped up in the back by Chiako Bagu. And the middle set to Cece Hall for the kill.
Well, if this is any indication, Beth, this is going to be an absolute war. I love how hard both teams come out, how hard they had to work, and finally Texas not able to track that ball down.
The serve from Annika Albright. She's a serving specialist who comes in, and Amy Neal tools the block. The 5'10" senior out of Austin with incredible hops. And a terrific story that will tell throughout the night. Nearly gave up on her Texas career after a frustrating freshman season that included a national championship, but she did not get much time on the floor.
Even considered transferring. Coaches worked with her. That was called a back row attack. There was part of the ball on the Texas side of the net. As soon as the blocker touched it, they win the point. The coaches, led by Jared Elliott, really helped build that confidence back in Amy Neal.
Became an All-American.
Exactly, helped her believe that she could hang with that group, even though she had completely lost her confidence.
Into the net for Chloe Collins, and the point for Nebraska. Justine Wong-Orantes will go back to serve. You'll note the black jerseys on either side of the net. Those are the Libros. They are the defensive specialists, tend to be pretty good servers. They cannot attack at the net. Collins, the slide behind. We're going to be talking about that an awful lot for both teams tonight. Molly McCage with the kill.
Exactly. McCage has also been huge in this tournament, but so far I'm seeing from Nebraska, they're trying to serve down that far sideline, make it a little more difficult to run that play. It did not hinder Texas in the least. That's the slide off the 1-foot approach.
Amy Neal with the service error. At their practices today, both sides talked about how critical the service game will be and how much pressure you can really put on an opponent and disable their own attack when you serve well.
Yeah, but so far it looks like Katie Rolfson also wants to serve right down the sideline to what we call zone 1 in volleyball. I think they've seen something on film where they believe that Texas might have a tougher time running that slide play. There was a touch on that ball on the way out of bounds. So early strategy becoming apparent for Nebraska, serving down that one sideline to their left.
Rolfson is the 6'3" junior. Dramatic change in her work ethic, one of the big reasons why they have been so good this year. Michaela Fecky, a freshman. Both sides will have a rookie tonight that will have to come up with some big plays for them. Collins, they'll go to McCage again around the back. Nebraska is there defensively. Back row attack, Albright. That's a rarity for her. Paulina Prieto-Cerame with the kill. 6'2" junior out of Puerto Rico. 19 kills in their win over Minnesota in the semis.
Yep, just finding the late arriving blocker. The other thing I'm seeing, Beth, early on is both teams seem to have each other really well scouted. I see good defensive positions. That's another thing leading to these long rallies.
Terrific head coaches and great staffs that they have put together. Their assistants were both handling the scouts this afternoon. In their final preparations, a point there for Nebraska, tied at 5 early on. Nebraska, the runners-up to Minnesota this year in the Big Ten Conference, and for the 5th year in a row, Texas, winners of the Big 12. They have dominated ever since Nebraska left to join the Big Ten. Collins Collins out to Prieto. Sarame got it through the block, and they went after the shorter setter as well.
What nice vision by Prieto Sarame there. There was a late arriving middle and what we call daylight. Watch the middle just took a little step the opposite way. That was Amber Rolfson, and she got stuck leaning left before she went right. A little late arriving. Prieto Sarame taking advantage.
Big 12 performer who helped them take a little pressure off of Amy Neal this year, and the ace for Chloe Collins, the junior out of Cypress, Texas.
Straight arriving with what you try to do is you don't actually try to serve right in the bread basket, somebody's belly button, but you try to find the space between passers. Well executed by Collins that time. Now she switches and serves more cross court.
There's the slide behind for Amber Rolfson. Free ball, Nebraska. Hunter will go cross court this time to Kelsey Feen for the kill. The senior at 6'3" out of Bakersfield, California.
And left side players on both sides of the net, squeaking a number of their swings through, finding those late arriving middles who just aren't quite getting hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, or just not getting their hands across the net in time.
That was Shaka Obagu, the All-American middle, number 11 in white for Texas. She'll get a swing right here.
A nice touch by Feen there to create the scoring opportunity.
And the slide and the kill for Hall. 6'3", 50-year senior out of Sweden. Amber Rolfson. Back to serve. The twin sisters side by side for the Huskers throughout their careers from nearby Papillion, Nebraska. And the kill for Obagu.
On the play before last, Kelsey Feen making a great blocking move. Watch as she goes all by herself solo, swings her arms, gets up in the perfect position. That allows Hall, the middle, to work hard in transition, come behind and run that slide attack.
Feen sent right back by Texas, and our first look at Yazzie Bedart-Hani, the 6'4" freshman from Los Angeles, number 27.
And it was stuff blocks like that late in that semifinal match against Minnesota that sealed the deal for Texas when it was really close. And Texas, you got to admire how much fight they had. They, as one of their top players, Jaco Obagu, had to exit the match with cramps. Still they win with another replacement.
We'll be keeping an eye on Obagu as the night progresses. Cramps have been an issue for her throughout the season. She simply doesn't have a whole lot of body fat, so they've really got to make sure she gets her liquids and gets her rest. And here she is back to serve it up. They were able to survive the semis without her for a set. That may not be the case tonight if she has to exit. It's Feen. Solo block for Amy Neal. They'll go right back outside. And Brooks to Neal. Hunter. Katie Rolfson calling for it and killing it.
Nice vision here. Watch McCade. She's going to split her arms right there, and the field goal only worth 1 point in volleyball, not 3. But good vision by the hitter to take advantage.
Bedart-Hani. There's the freshman. We talked about those two going head-to-head over on the right side, and a stuff. Huge for Nebraska because during the regular season matchup, they were outblocked badly in the loss to Texas.
Exactly. Again, I'm impressed with the positioning. Taking all cross court on Neal. She didn't take advantage of that opening down the line, but the block and the defense for both teams in good spots. That's why these long rallies are happening.
Outside of Fecky off the block, and Nebraska grabs the lead. 3 points in a row. Timeout, Longhorns. And they have a combined 5 NCAA titles. Texas also won the last AIAW National Championship back in 1981. Ani with a boomer down the line.
And we can see there's this matchup of freshmen across the net. The previous play, Fecky with a cannon shot off the block. That time, Bedard Ani also bringing it as she has been doing in this NCAA tournament. Lots of fun to watch these two freshmen battle across the net.
That pass was tight to the net. The lift called on Nebraska. One of the reasons both of these teams are here, Karch, and we saw it in the semis. We're seeing it tonight. So balanced. It is really hard to know where they're going to go.
Got lots of weapons. They could set any one of their hitters in these offensive patterns, except when you get a pass like that. Nice save by the setter, Kelly Hunter. That pass also too close to the net. The only place she could go was Michaela Fecky on the outside, blasting it to the corner. Right over the block and down.
John Cook says Michaela Fecky hits it as hard as anybody they've ever had here at Nebraska, the freshman from Iowa.
Another good block touch by Nebraska.
Amy Neal through the block for the kill.
Remember, Fecky was another part of that position switch after 5 matches, just 5 matches in. Coach Cook taking a big chance and switching Fecky from playing on the right side and opposite to hitting on the left, and switching Katie Rolfson from the left to the right.
Through the set in the middle to Amber Rolfson, who moved in the offseason for John Cook. Now in his 16th year at Nebraska, he's won a couple of national championships. Twice he's been the AVCA Coach of the Year.
See him giving that one signal. They're serving that right back zone. They pull the setter a little off the net.
Another kill from Michaela Fecky. Over on the other bench is Jarrett Elliott in his 15th year at Texas, trying to get their second title in 4 years after they won it all in 2012.
And you could see him way down on the bench. His players had some conversations with him. And they thought, you know what? You might play with a little less stress if you go down to the end of the bench. And you figured, what? I'll give it a try. And it's worked really well for Texas here in the final. But another great swing by Fecky.
And a credit really for both of these coaches. They are old school, high intensity guys. And they both realized early this year that their teams, that wasn't the best way to approach these clubs, and they've loosened the reins a little bit, and their players have thrived.
Exactly. Cook said sometimes the team's way of business as usual is a little squirrely for him. But he said, you know what, I got to bite the bullet and run with it. It's working for him. Both coaches loosening up as they get on into their coaching experience.
Here in our first set, best 3 out of 5. We're going to 25 points. Got to win by 2. Kelly Hunter back to Fecky, who's already got 6 kills now in the first set.
Really interesting. I've seen just one speed for her this whole tournament, and then she breaks out the roll shot. We saw a lot of that from somebody like Dally Santana, the great outside hitter from Minnesota, but not much of the off-speed shot. That's a smart thing when you've been hitting scuds across the net to mix in the roll shot. Very effective.
And then into the net for the service error. Fecky was the National Player of the Year coming out of high school. John Cook telling us today she's got ice in her veins, absolutely lives for this kind of moment in the spotlight.
Sure is showing it with a really strong